So set number 1, maganda naman yung opensa ng UP, but they lacked a little bit in terms of the defense. Points for the Fighting Maroons. Only one blocker challenging him. And that 7 points. Good serve. Beda denied.
Blocking, the communication, the defense. Just the vibe here for UP.
Good serve, not the best of passes, but was kept alive. Oh, this is an over-receive.
Tipping it in front of the 10-foot line. Take a look at that one. Simple plays.
And even on the attack, UP is much more aggressive.
Campton, their top scorer so far. Slowed down. Castrodes, the setup to Rahim. That was close to the antenna. Noel again. La pa rin. Back with UP. Still with the white shirts. Play continues. Kept alive. Olayemi. Long rally alert. And Rahim not stopping, but Maglinaw continues to defend the floor. Both teams scrambling for this point. Putting effort as we go on and on and on. What a sequence we're having. And it ends with a defensive stop for the UP Fighting Maroons.
Good grit in this match. They're definitely on the driver's seat. Good effort on the block.
Solid game by Tommy Castrodes with double figures. Another great receive. Roca slowed down by the block. Oh!
Ooh!
Villanueva had a hand on that, but
That hit was strong, but the defense was even stronger based on the need to relax.
Aceron blocked. Dan Nicolas and Abalia working hand in hand. What has been a seesaw set. And Dan Nicolas.
To quickly adjust, have that response. Hopefully, the turnout of that huddle would be in their favor.
And it is! Good response from that lance. Kasi nga, di ba, uniforming team
Had some contribution with blocking and has contributed the most in terms of service aces.
So if you get 1, 2, 3, that's already, make it 2.
Oh,
That's already a huge feat for UP.
disparity is significant between those two middle blockers.
Yeah, I agree. But the timing is what...
He's in the back row. He actually can't attack.
That has to feel good for Abalia and Dan Nicolas.
Ito na yung double sub na sinasabi ni Coach Carlo.
Abalia. And somehow, Dan Nicolas just finding a way.
Has converted so many points. Kahit na hindi perfect yung set na nabibitawan para sa kanya.
And looking like he has a lot of confidence in his teammates.
From the opposite side, Dan Nicolas, there was a check ball.
Dan Nicolas, the few times that he attacked from the opposite side.
Lead now for UP. Off system here, Aligayo and approaches. De Guzman na atake, Villanueva with the dig. Regalo, hello, says Dan Nicolas.
The back row player itong si Bicar, so he couldn't go for the block.
Rahim. And his teammates need him now more than ever. Kakao, combination play, ooh, blocked! And again, the play from Rahim can create a pass. Jumping at the right time, pressing his hands at the right time.
Clarence wanting Dan Nicolas announcing his entry.
Yeah, those kinds of attacks, no, going for the middle now. They know that Dan Nicolas.
Gutierrez to the slide. Gopio. Naiangat ng UP. Castrodes off speed. Gutierrez this time to the pipe. Denied!
Having a lot of miscommunications there is kaya ang laki na ng lamang nila.
Kneeling set. Dan Nicolas.
Let's see if UP could have their own 5-0 run.
Pasino from the back row. Clemente from the left pin. Triple block was prepared. Gutierrez will set up Pasino once again, which was stuffed. The Fighting Maroons looking to stop their momentum. A timeout. Sharp serve. Captain from the left pin. Dan Nicolas is not in my house.
Set number 3.
Fundamentals, these kinds of magic happens.
What a serve.
Ooh,
And
still a
it's
good
still
ball.
alive.
Great ball control by Bicar.
Nicolas makes them pay.
But quickly, they get it back. But Nicolas making sure he ends it with a point.
Here
13 points na si Nicolas.
UP trying to go for another. May talaga sila mag-grab.
Ahead of UP.
Sharp serve to Villanueva. Kamaymayan from the right. Castrodes, improv, off speed. Bicar, the set, back to Kamaymayan. The double block was there for UP.
When you're on the attacking end of things.
And Coach Carlo also mentioning that NU has been testing the coverage all the time. Look at that again.
It's another quick attack for Abalie this time.
A 3-0 lead here. Santiago also starting this set for Coach Carlo. Gupiteo is denied.
So the angle of choice from Gupiteo dropped his hands last second.
He has been playing beach volleyball for UST. Abalie also starting in this match. Going to be a point here for the Fighting Maroons.
Dan Nicolas.
Clarence, one-handed set, too low. Del Pilar, tipping it over. Akaak against a double block. De Castro will save. Makita sending over a free ball. And they go to who else? Their favorite.
Right now, he is the best option, actually. It's not the wings of UP, but it has been.
Got his groove. Battle at the net.
Oh, good save.
That's by Jade. And a chance ball for UP. Abalie to the quick. It's a point for Dan Nicolas.
Boy, UP, everything flowing.
Let's see this replay first. Dan Nicolas.
Team Asaron. Kill block for the Fighting Maroons. That one care of Dan Nicolas. Let's take a look at this one more time. Access was denied as a timeout is called.
Majority of the balls.
Placement lang for Francisco.
You know, if you don't get the perfect set, like
Sinubo na lang nung setter sa kamay ng spiker. You know, I'd like to pick your brains about that, but later na. As Nicolas goes for that quick hit. That one naman is the other version of a quick.
Yep.
Espartero with that serve picked up by Tommy. Abalie going up for the quick. What an answer from Nicolas.
What a quick attack right there by Nicolas. Yung mga gitna ng UP Fighting Maroons, they go for a run eh. So I think that's something that they do have to activate and maximize.
Saavedra there with that serve. Oh, what a hit there coming from Dan Nicolas.
Right there by Dan Nicolas. Abalie going for the quick attack. just dumping the ball right over to the UP side.
Something that you would do before when you were still playing as well. Espartero goes up to that quick to Nicolas. He has been quiet and he's the guy that we're also been looking for on the side of UP.
Attack right there by Nicolas. Amazing job by Abale, recognizing na medyo na late yung blocker.
Trevor Valera serving. Dan Nicolas with 3 points here. If they would want to extend this match to a 4th set, but Colinares, De La Noche, and Valera on the side of UST. Macam serving.
So the right zone to target. Yung mga atake ng UP, basta zone 1 and zone 5, pumupuntos talaga so they can.
Trevor Valera on deck with 2 points already here for set 1. Abale.
Oh, wow.
That's gonna be a strong attack from the middle from Dan Nicolas.
Got the elevation that he wanted. Perfect height on that set.
Well read. And back-to-back points, courtesy of Dan Nicolas.
Good set number 4. He had 5 attack points, 100%.
Service in at the hard, nobody home. Menard gives up a free ball. UP takes advantage as Nicolas gets the point. And a 3-point.
Dan Nicolas quick to capitalize on that confusion of the green spikers as they have their big...
Rahim with a push. Chance for the green spikers. Captain with a setup. But Maglinaw shut down.
Top space for Maglinaw.
As we welcome you all to set number 4 here on One Sports on the UAP Varsity Channel and on Pilipinas Live. Dip Dipianco together with Doc AJ Pareja calling this one. Castrodes, as you mentioned, needs to get more touches. They go to the middle and Nicolas will score. The UP needs to look for those options.
Time for the other Maroons to really step up in their attacking game.
And speaking of, they change things up. They go to the middle. Dan Nicolas.
What they need, get some spotlight off Rahim. Make it less predictable for the Greens.
Right now it's LaSalle. LaSalle's turn to feel good about the way they're playing, but Nicolas says it's not yet done.
Collectively doing really good for UP right now. The middle putting a lot of pressure in the middle.
That is going to be a point for UP.
Nicolas catches the line for you.
Better receive for Tommy. And from the right pin, Dan Nicolas.
Right there.
One blocker. Big. Aligayon. Pinayungan.
And the block point for UPass. That's a no-no. Substitution for UP.
Good press. And UP slowly getting momentum here. Castrodes will serve it up. Over receive. Regalo from Dan Nicolas.
Some momentum here in the second set. And it all started with those Rahim attacks. Makita mo na effort talaga to defend at the net itong UE.
Oof. Hello, with some velocity for Dan Nicolas.
Ito yung possibility when they do. Just look at that. Ganda ng naging duelo doon ni Nicolas and finally converting. Let's hope.
It's 5 points now for Kamaymayan as well. The toss to Dan Nicolas. Pinakita yung airtime.
Itong kanyang teammate who just got locked a point before. But
bump will be given to Roy Piojo. And that was rejected.
But it was Obed Mukaba blocking Rahim. There's the response by Dan Nicolas.
Much needed. What a time for Dan Nicolas to actually score.
That's his first point in this set.
Yeah, been a drought since set 1 actually.
Ancheta. First ball, Bersano. It's a quick hit, courtesy of Dan Nicolas.
You know, that distance, that 2-point distance.
There's the guy who has started all games in season 87 so far.
You've been watching games? They set up Nicolas on that quick. And it's really about activating middles now.
And in previous seasons, nagsiset din minsan.
Napaka-versatile naman ng player na to. Oh, an easy answer coming from Dan Nicolas.
Their middles early here in this match, and why not? That is where they can get an advantage.
Actually, si Jude.
Either way, they got that violation. Rahim. Oh! And that turns into a point for UP. Rahim on the return. And then the reach of Dan Nicolas. To try and figure out what will be the outcome. Will it be a win for LaSalle or an extension to set number 5? Off the block, Dan Nicolas.
Nicolas continues his stellar run here in set number 4. 5 attack points from 5 attempts.
Need a stop.
Castrodes happily accepting that regalo.
From the middle now, Dan Nicolas gets one for UP.
Aceron, yeah.
Good score off the block for Dan Nicolas on a 1-on-1.
Woods within.
Ain't quiet, ah.
Yeah,
really
spread out.
Yeah.
Hirap doon. As Aringo.
Even with the length of Tagibolos, he couldn't reach that.
Ball.
And it has been the middles, of course, of UP who has scored the points, just as we say it. Number 3 top scorer. Drop shot. Drives at the net. Telerzon tries to save it. And out, we're now tied 4 apiece. A good hustle so far here for
Really helps the back row players.
Another good block there by Nicolas. Play continues. And Nicolas.
Blockers of UP clearly struggling.
Gutierrez has been very active here in the first set. Nicolas getting that off the blockers, and that works for UP.
For those counters, kanina ito yung medyo absent at the early start of the first set, but right now
The athleticism of a Jude Aguilar, of course. Gutierrez with that serve. They go up to Nicolas. Sagutan.
Piso-piso tayo dito.
It's about the perspective, I
Yes.
guess.
That serve coming from Nicolas, it will become an ace. They're now getting their own service aces. So they have...
Misreceive. And a service ace for Dan Nicolas.
Rare error here inside of Ken Batas.
A timeout is called by Ateneo. They're down by 4.
On their lineup right now, making his job so easy. They go to Rahim, triple block. They go to the right pin, nakalusot. Plays middle but also attacks in the right pin. Going high that time, no confidence. Will they be able to sustain that lead? That's a good one. Yan yung mga gusto mong players. Yung handang-handa. Off the bench. Good adjustment. So 2 offensive setters here for FEU, Cacao and Martinez. Back set. That could be a point for UP. Hands.
Big point for UE. Santiago. Dan Nicolas.
Ganda ng pihit sa ere eh. Ganda rin ang naging duelo dyan ni Nicolas.
Well, sa ibang highlights, mukha talaga siyang Terminator. Parang what?
A very talented athlete for sure. And
Speaking
this
of talent.
time, Nicolas also very silent yung mga points ni Nicolas. And just like that,